score. Kingslayer Zest is KT's second player. 10-10 in Pro League and 3-3 versus Terran.
Yeah, this guy's, his win ratio there, 10-10. It doesn't really reflect how much of a powerhouse this guy is. He didn't have the best start, but then when he all-killed SKT in the playoffs, everybody was like, what? Wait, what? And then he just, came out of nowhere and he became a Royal Roader. He was now he is one of the best players we have here in Korea, if not the best Protoss player. And he's on KT, of course. He's going to be up against Salvation, a guy who's only played 3 games here. He's 1-1 versus Protoss, but his last 2 games were losses.
Honestly, one of the best win ratios on Prime right now. Yep. It is in the positive numbers, but he's 1-1 versus Prime, like you said. He's only played 3 games, but he has looked pretty good, and I'm glad they're deciding to field him more often. I think this is a great choice by Gerard because he's definitely one of the better players right now on the team. Yeah. And taking out Zest is going to be a mountain of a task, but maybe.
Well, he's definitely prepared something for this match. He's got to have some weird technical builds, something really, really well-timed and maybe crisp to take out this guy. Let's see if he can do it.
The map is King Sejong Station, and it's up and loaded. Let's jump into game number 2 of our final match here before we go into the playoffs for round 3.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left in the red for KT Rolster, it is Zest.
To the bottom right in purple for Prime, it's Salvation. He looks very stressed going into this match against the Kingslayer, but definitely not a low stress situation here.
Yeah, they're saying all together, let's cheer. Now they're saying that Zest is handsome. He's attractive, actually, literally.
Yeah. Not quite the same jawline as Jamie Lannister, but it's pretty close.
Yeah. I'd say he's one of our more handsome pro gamers we do have here in
Korea.
Yeah,
I'd second that thought.
And it's not just let me go off on a rant. It's not just his face or his just general, the features of his face or anything. It's more like his attitude. You know what I mean? When he gets in the booth, it's you're dealing with someone. And that kind of thing, it's kind of like an aura that even guys can feel,
Yeah, I feel it.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it now. He certainly has that. For me, what's most handsome about him is his decision-making.
Is that it, Wolf? Is
yeah.
His decision-making? That's what you like most about him?
And he's actually going to probe scout here.
Fans were really excited about that one.
Yeah, I must have missed something.
I think the Korean caster was just interacting with them as we have a little bit of downtime here in the beginning. Just trying to get them excited and cheering.
Yeah, I suppose so. Maybe they're really concerned about him seeing this Reaper build. And he's going to see it.
Pro's going to see it. He's going to come in and see the barracks, of course.
The Pro Patrols, they think that's really funny.
Yeah.
Well, 2 in gas only, so he's getting up his command center a little bit faster with that extra mineral boost.
Yeah, Reaper's great on this map. Actually, you can come from both sides. They have little lips there, little edges, where you can just jump right into the main base, no problem.
Oh, what is this?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I was watching an old VOD last night. What was it I was watching? I was watching an old VOD from an old GSL Open, and it was something like this where Zealots warped onto the high ground, and I was like, oh my god, I remember you used to be able to do that. Look at that Zest face. I remember when that came out on Daily Esports. Oh, he found the probe.
Oh my god.
Dare I say it, a pro move to find that probe.
That was a probe move, man. That's something you can do with the Reapers. They're so fast, they can jump around the place. And nice, sixth sense there. I mean, he saw the probe leave, but didn't really see where it went, and he's like, oh, let me just make sure, One thing Zest has shown us before is when he played against Billowy, actually, when Billowy 4-0'd KT and, you know, blasted off MVP success from there. Zest went for a little bit of like a tricky build and like made some weird proxies, and I was like, oh no, is he going to do the same thing here? But once I saw the Nexus go down, I'm like, oh, okay. But that probe being denied for Zest, he's not going to be able to do anything tricky.
Could end up being his saving grace here if he was going to have another game like that one. Oh, wow, drops a Robo. He's playing straight up. It's going to probably get a Forge. That Reaper seems to be the talk of the town, man. And he's going to see the Robo.
Oh, and he doesn't get killed. Going to come in there and see everything. One fan in particular in the audience going absolutely insane about this. The Reapers actually might, nope, it's not going to be able to get away. Going to try to micro back here. Couple more shots, one more. There it is.
It's just that double tier height there. Can't jump out. Oh, well. It's still got the information it needed. There's not much else to see after that. I think he was trying to see if there's going to be a Forge added or not, or if he's just going to stick with the, you know, just sticking with that Robo. But, of course, the Forge will come, and it is coming now. Because if it's no Forge, it could be like an Immortal push or something, and he needs to be careful about that. I don't think he's going to even scan. He's just going to play safe from here.
Yeah. Zest is also a Protoss player that you can't ever be too sure. Like, he has a certain style. He generally plays, like, pretty safe, not going for too many crazy builds, but you never know. He's always a guy that you can't be 100% sure. He can mix it up from time to time.
Yeah. Stim started for Salvation here. The thing about Zest is he's often a player who can see an opening, see some angle he can hit at with aggression, and then sometimes he just decides not to. You know what I mean? He's like, I could do this, and then he's like, I don't need to. And he just takes an expand because he's just better than most people he plays against. Yeah.
And that makes a great player. Someone who has a plan in mind, but based on the nice Observer Scout there, very nice eyes on Salvation, looking for that Observer, because he knew the Robo was out. But going back to what I was saying, a good player would be able to change up his build mid-build if the conditions call for it. Is he actually going to get a second Observer here? No,
that would be crazy. I might not have had a scan available. I think he did see it. Gonna force the overcharge here. Marauder tanks it, doesn't lose a single unit. Trades about half the health on that Marauder for 100 energy on the Mothership Core.
Yeah, pretty good idea there. You'd always want to do that.
And this is one of our great photographers we have here. And he takes some amazing pictures. His ID is like JORNLEAS. May have an underscore after it, I'm not sure, but if you look him up and look up pro, you can see some of the awesome shots he's actually taken. Takes some sick pictures. Look him up on Twitter and look up his Flickr. He's been in Korea studying, I think at Chungang University, but he's taken some sick pics.
Yeah, definitely, you know, appreciate all the work he's done there, and you guys can do the same as well. Back at the base of Zest, he's going into that Twilight Council. He's got a Colossus on the way, and he's adding 5 gateways at the same time, but still no move out with the probe to try to make that third base, and he actually stopped probe production as well.
Yeah, in fact, you're right. I think it's a safety move, though, more so than I'm going to hit a Colossus Blinkstalker timing, but only time will tell. I think he just wanted to save his resources a little bit so he could have enough units to hold if there was an attack coming, so he could have those warp-ins. Starts +1 now. And third CC goes down. I think Zest is going to feel comfortable taking his third Nexus pretty soon.
Yeah. Restarts pro production 2 at a time. Continues with the very slow 1 at a time Colossus production. And even just that one Observer Scout from earlier on is going to hurt Zest scouting here. He wanted to go into Colossus very early on, so he only made 2 more. And I believe he's got 2 on the map. That's a very nice spot there. It's a spot for drops here. Let's see if he sees it.
Oh, Phoenix Scout will see this. So does the Observer. No mystery here. Even has a pylon to the left side to spot further anything that might come his way.
I wonder if he was going over there trying to spot the Observer somewhere, but just didn't see it.
Well, this pylon, he'll probably stop at the pylon, drop off, and kill it. A tip for like maybe master level players, if you ever see a pylon like this, he sees you, so you should probably just kill the pylon.
Yeah, no reason to just assume that he won't see you with that pylon. It does give enough vision.
Look at this Observer placement. He's got all of his bases covered. And he sends just his Colossi over here. This still has a few Mirage in it, so he has to kite back. I don't know. Yeah, with 2 Colossi, he's not even going to attempt it. Maru might have, but no, not Salvation. He's not going to try it.
Zest totally ready for this other side attack. He's even going to blink forward, try to snipe some of those units. That blink finishing in time to be able to do something like that. That Observer keeping those units in check over there. Zest is on top of all of this aggression. He is not being hindered one bit by this.
With his Twilight Council done, could actually go into furthering his upgrades. And his Forge actually is not active. My upgrade tab says he never got +1 finished. Did he cancel that? Because I know he had that on the production tab at some point.
No, you did get that finished.
Okay, so yeah, so my stuff is a bit bugged. Okay, no, it shows. It shows for me now. That's really weird. I gotta get this fixed. Sorry, guys. My preview PC, like, it's really helpful, but sometimes there's just like a bit of weirdness with it.
It's got like a different UI.
It has a totally different UI.
Like
yeah. I tried to figure out how to fix that, but I couldn't. But like, eventually, I'll get it handled probably before round 4.
Yeah. Well, the Observer goes in there and does die to the missile turret. Night placement there is going to deny any scouting. Zest is going to have to put that in a different direction if he wants to see what's going on in the base of Salvation. Third base gets taken in a weird location. That's not, you know, your natural, normal third base location. Usually you go for the one that's on the left side. Have any insight onto why he may have placed that over there?
You're talking about Salvation's base, right?
Yep.
I think he wants to be at a closer location to attack the third base from Zest on the ground, while also being able to defend his base. If he takes a third base that's over to the left side, if he ever has to defend a big attack, he sends his army over there, but he can't also counterattack as easily from that location at the third base because he kind of has to swing around that middle part of the map, or at least go walk back through his natural. That would be my guess as to why he took this base here, over taking the base to the south. Taking the base in the middle, you might argue, well, why is that? Why isn't he going to take that one? That one's even closer to everything. It's just because that one's too exposed. So that'll probably be his fourth base location. This gives him the opportunity to take a very safe fourth base, though, to the left of his main if he chooses to. Looks like that's not on the cards here. He wants to do an SCV pull and end the game before Storm is ready. He's going to take a few more chronos before that's out. Let me check and see if he has any high tempo. He has 1 high tempo on the map, so that one will have enough energy, unless he morphs it into an Archon right now with that second one.
And these Blink Stalkers, they're getting a good look at exactly what is in this composition. And does Zest have enough? The Storm is not done here. There's Ghosts in this composition as well.
This is what killed Stork. Can he do it again? A preemptive time warp here to try to zone out those SCVs. His cannon could help up a lot. There's a Nexus cannon on this base as well. He may actually sack the base, knowing that killing this army and the SCVs will be worth it if he can accomplish that. Probes coming off the line here. The Vikings trying to get a hit. Storm is done. And here we go. The first Storm on some of those Ghosts. But I don't think the Storm is good enough. Let's find out. The Colossi here at the back still alive, trying to get their shots up, but they're not targeted here. And they go down without a hitch, and now this Bioforce still alive, looking pretty strong.
The Vikings are landing now, and they're going to be doing a lot of damage. A huge concave coming in here, but Zest trying to stay alive with his probes. Is it going to be enough? It looked like it might not be enough.
Oh, this is so close. That one Immortal is so important here. It goes down. The Stalkers have Blink to chase. The Archon's isolated to the south, but it looks like he's lost too much here, trying to now utilize his mobility. But it's not going to be enough. The Stalkers blink here into the main base. Now, don't forget, he killed the third. And he's a Terran player with triple orbitals. He's going to drop all of his mules at that third base location. Game isn't over yet, but Zest is in a massive lead right now. He just has to really identify where things are to move forward appropriately in this case.
Yeah, we're going to have both players here sit back for a while and just reevaluate where exactly they're at. We're seeing Zest with a bunch of Archons with this mix now. They're going to be so useful against what Salvation is just making with the only bio that he can make right now, as he does only have those 20 SCVs back at home because he used so many in that push. Now Zest is like, well, you know, what are you doing over here? I got to get some information. He's sending the Zealot over here to the third base location.
Now, with the mules dropped, he has more than double the income per minute right now versus Zest. I just checked it, and I mean, we're talking about 1,600 per minute to about 800 per minute. So he still has his boost of economy. When the mules all die, then of course Zest is going to have a better economy with his saturation. He's still trying to get this third base up. But for now, Salvation is still building a very tough army. Upgrade-wise, they're still the same. +2 armor just now being started by Zest as I speak. And the game will continue.
Yeah, it's going to continue right here. He's going to drop over here and kill the Zealot. Not just going to fly over that. Going to take control of that watchtower. Going to be so useful for keeping that right in front of his base. Going to want that vision. May go for another drop over here, but Zest has his units in place. And Zest is also sending that one observer, if you guys can see it, that little red dot that's going to the third base. So he's going to see that. See just how many SCVs over there. Good blink, could snipe it. Is he going to get the second shot? Doesn't go down 10 health.
Oh, and escapes here. Oh, well, maybe.
Piece is down.
Oh, he didn't see it.
So close. Salvation cannot be taking any hits there.
He's going to go ahead and kill this spotter piling over on the left side of the map. Zest has so much free supply, though. This isn't going to cost him much. Not going to have to rebuild that instantly. He has a lot of Templar here with a lot of energy stored up on them as well. 6 Templar in total. Most of those having enough for 2 storms. So, I mean, we're talking about 10 or so storms available right now. That's a lot of storms. They're spread out, mind you, of course, to make sure they don't all get EMPs. Ghost count right now at 0. He doesn't have a single ghost on the map.
Yeah, and he's trying to make Vikings deal with the Colossi that are not there. This is a nice drop coming over here with 2 medevacs, but I think it's just going to be enough for Zest here. He warps in 2 Zealots with the cannons, but now he's going to try to go for another attack here, maybe try to snipe a High Templar. No. Not able to. The Stalker's right in the front to defend.
+2 armor is about to finish. For the Vikings especially, that's important because it's going to take effect twice against the Viking shots. Zealot's going to be able to tank that extra damage as well. And, I mean, the situation here looks pretty nasty for Salvation. He really needs to make something happen soon because of the tech problem, not because of the economy, because he has enough mineral boost on those mules to survive in that case. Now he's coming over here. He's trying to get some probe kills. Gets a few. Looks like 2 or 3 there.
Yeah, and he also forces 2 of those High Templar with that energy to join into an Archon while that was coming down. Zest very comfortable to take that fight, but Salvation's saying no. He just backs off. Salvation's trying to make it happen. He's trying to attack from both sides, but it's just not working.
This reminds me, this style of play from Salvation reminds me of a very young Supernova, just doing the SCV pull, or Bomber as well, a good example of this, doing the SCV pull, losing his economy, but hanging on those mules, building an army that's strong enough to poke, and then trying to claw his way back into the game. As soon as he has an army that he feels is big enough, as soon as he has enough bank, he goes right back into Ghost production because he knows that's absolutely critical here. And he's looking at this saying, you know, I have a heavy Marauder count. That's what I do have. So dealing with the Colossi, I have that power. So maybe I cut the Vikings down for a moment so I can get those Ghosts out. You see now he starts to add them back in. And he's really just carefully building this maxed out army. If he loses it one more time, it's going to be so tough for him, though, because a 4th base is going down now for Zest. Zest has the much better upgrades. He's about to be 2 sets ahead with the +2 attack and the armor.
Yeah.
Scary.
And I love what Zest is actually doing right now. He's adding another robotics for the extra Colossi to come out here, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time because another SCV pull is on the way, guys. He may be able to cancel that 4th base. We're going to have to see how good the Storms are and how good the EMPs are as well.
Storm's going down here. That High Templar has another Storm. He does get it off. But he doesn't have unlimited storms. He needs to be careful here. Good dodges, in fact, by Salvation with an SCV pull. Don't see dodges that good every day. Now he's coming in here. Guardian Shield goes up. Double storms down on these Vikings. And a lot of those SCVs are eating some shots here. If he can get a few more Colossi up to the front to do that damage, he's going to eliminate the SCVs. This is buying a lot more time. EMP hits here, but he doesn't get the last storm, which goes down on top of that army. And I feel like he might just have too many Protoss units now. The Nexus is just one small victory. He needs to do a lot more than getting that.
Yeah, Zest with his army control right now, so fantastic. He is just waiting until the exact right moment. Here he goes. There's just not enough Terran here. The Blake forward, gonna snipe a lot of those medevacs as well, and the Colossi in the back with no Vikings in the air, just going to rip apart whatever's left of Salvation.
A great attempt here by Salvation. Very nice game out of him, but it's not good enough. Medevacs are sniped, which means no more retreat. The red and dead Marauders here try to kite back, targeting down Stalkers with his last breath. GG. Zest takes game number 2. And things for Samsung are looking pretty desperate right now.
Yep. That, I have to say, that's almost what I was expecting out of Salvation. He had a build in mind. He was going to go for the SCV pull. It was very strong. Had the Ghosts in the mix as well as a very good army composition. He had a lot of Vikings for that, but Zest, with his army control, it was just too good. He was able to delay enough. He knew he had to sack the 3rd base. If he tried to fight for that 3rd base, he might have lost that game. But he was like, okay, I just need a couple more warp-ins. I need to get a good position here, force him into the choke point, and that's exactly what he did. Even though the Colossi weren't having the greatest targeting during that one big match, or the one big fight, Zest was still able to hold just barely with the blink as well.
Well, now for Samsung, this is a dire situation. It's not over yet. If Prime is able to miraculously win not only games 3 and 4, but also the ace match, KT and Samsung will tie. Now, I wanted to keep this a surprise, but I'm too excited, Brennan. You and I went back into the makeup room during the break,